What is up, everyone? Jeremy here. In this video, we are checking out STLTones Tonality Lasse Lammert. Now, if you are like me, your first thought is, okay, that's great, but how does this thing sound? Well, you're about to hear a full mix audio sample that demonstrates a couple of the presets and tones that I put together with this tonality suite. Stick around after that for a complete feature overview as well as additional preset audio examples and breakdowns. So with that, here is the audio sample. Alright, there is the audio sample. Obviously, as you can hear for yourself, this thing rips. It absolutely can create some incredible tones. So let's dive in and do a quick feature overview on what's included in this tonality suite. And first of all, if you are an Amp Hub user or if you have the existing tonality suites, it's very similar. The user interface is very similar. You have inputs, outputs just for setting up your gain staging. You have a built-in gate, noise gate, a tuner, stomp boxes, amplifier section, cabinet, and post effects section. Now, diving deeper into the stomp box, amplifier, and cabinet sections, you have a pre-EQ pedal here for shaping the DI signal, as I often do when I'm putting together a high gain tone. I always want to pull back some of the lows before it goes into the amplifier because it sounds better to me, especially with lower tunings. Cutting out some of that low before it hits the amplifier and then boosting some of the bass back with the amplifier sounds better to me. So I was happy to see an EQ pedal in here, and I've utilized that in a bunch of these presets. So it has a built-in EQ. Then it goes in, or then you have the liver kick boost. I am not familiar with this. I don't have any idea if it's actually based on an existing pedal or if this is just some custom thing. It looks like it would be based on an existing pedal. If it is, I'll go check that out maybe. But this thing can seriously boost an amp. And I think in all the presets that I've put together that you're about to hear are using this Lammert boost because the liver kick is just insane with the amount of gain that it puts out, like just pure volume. Then you have the Lammert boost, and this is, I don't know, again, I don't know if this is modeled after anything specific or if it's custom, but it kind of has like a tube screamer style effect to it where you have your gain or your distortion with your tone and your level, and it has a similar feel or sound to it as like a tube screamer. But then we go into the amplifier section, and this is where we have the amps, and we have 3 amps in here. And as you can see, there is an official model of the Driftwood amplifier's Purple Nightmare, and this is an amp that I have seen on other YouTube videos. I think John Brown demoed an actual Purple Nightmare in one of his videos, but this is one I have been looking for, and I was super happy to see that it is included, and it's an officially modeled amp sim in this tonality suite. So that is awesome, and yes, it does sound amazing, and we'll hear that in just a second. Then we have the Frank Dieter, which is obviously based on a Diesel Herbert, which is a 3-channel amp. And as you can see, there is no channel 1 here. It actually starts at channel 2 and then channel 3. So you've got kind of the mid gain and high gain channels of the Herbert. You've got your mid cut and additional volumes and stuff here. And then we have the Mean Machine, which appears to be, obviously, again, based on the visual, a Legendary Tones hot modded JCM 800, Marshall JCM 800. So that's what this appears to be, and you'll see that up here in just a minute in some of these presets. Then we have the cabinet or IR loader section, and there are a bunch of really great IRs that are included with this. And just kind of quickly taking a look here, we have a British G12 top left, top right with different miking combinations. We have Cali Rect V30 bottom right, top left. Then we have an Eagle Pro V30 bottom left, bottom right, and then a Gasoline K100 and a Gasoline V30. I don't know what those are, but if you know, hit the comments and let me know. I might have to look that one up, but I do use the Gasoline IRs in some of my presets. It sounds really damn good. And then, of course, we've got the mics for each of these. So you'll hear these in more detail in just a minute, and then, of course, the post effects. So that's a quick breakdown and overview of the features. So now, just quickly looking at the presets that come with the Tonality Suite, you can see Lasse here has actually included album tone presets right in here. So A Nightmare in Texas, Elstorm, Glory Hammer, you can see that they are built in here. You could actually just select these, and that's supposed to resemble or mimic the tone on those albums, which is pretty awesome. But then we have all these additional presets here. So there's a bunch that come built into this. But the ones that I'm going to demo, because if you download this, you're going to get all those presets. You can play with them to your heart's desire. But the ones I'm going to demo are the tones that I was able to dial in that fit my style of music. And I thought they sounded so good, so I want to demo these. So you heard 2 of them in the audio sample already. That was Bliss. I actually renamed it, so it's not shown correctly over there, but it's Bliss, as in like a question mark, because it does sound really, really like blissful. It's a really beautiful tone, but when you play dissonant chords with it, obviously it can sound pretty terrible as well. And just like, here is a quick example of Bliss. There it is, and you can see what we've got going on here. So we have the Lammert boost, boosting up just a little bit of the tone, pulling back the level, and then we go into the Mean Machine. You can see the settings I've got there, and then this is one of the ones that I use the Gasoline IR on. I use the K800 with the Dynamic 57 and a Ribbon 121, and that is the tone that I got, and I thought it sounded incredible. So that is one of my presets. All right, and the next tone we're going to look at very quickly here is Sacroma-ish, which is the other high gain, like heavy tone that you heard in the audio sample at the beginning of the video. I'll solo it here real quick so you can hear what it sounds like on its own and then back in context. But this is meant to closely resemble the tone on Alluvial's newest album, Sarcoma. I am a huge fan of Alluvial, and that tone is incredible. So this was a tone I put together to try and resemble that. And as you can see, I'm using the EQ, the Lammert boost going into the Frank Dieter amp with these settings here on channel 2, not channel 3. That was too much gain. And then going into the Cali Rect V30 IRs with the Fredman technique, with one straight on SM57 and one angled SM57. And this is the tone that I got. So that is the Sacroma-ish tone. As you can hear, it's very articulate, not too much gain, because when you get overly gainy, it just kind of swallows that articulation, like the pick attack, if you will. So that is the Sacroma-ish. All right, the next one we'll do real quick is Nightmare. And this is another one that uses some post effects, and it's got a long reverb and delay on it with some pretty heavy distortion. So this is an example of what it sounds like. Really like eerie sound to it with all that gain. And really where that's coming from is the Lammert overdrive or boost pedal here. I've got the distortion just absolutely maxed out going into the Purple Nightmare. Not too much gain here, but it's really that dirty sound coming from this boost pedal, which I really thought sounded great. So that is Nightmare. So the next preset we're gonna listen to here real quick is called Ghost in a Box. Why is it called Ghost in a Box? Well, because I watched a video sometime back with the Spirit Box guitarist Mike Stringer talking about how he gets those like really glassy, pristine sounding cleans in the Spirit Box stuff. And he said the key to it is to disable the impulse response section in whatever amp sim you're using. Just don't use an impulse response, because that just kills some of that like top end. That just gives you that real clean, glassy, clean sound. So this has no impulse response section enabled. It is off. It has some post effects, and it's using the Purple Nightmare with these settings you can see here, where it's with just a little bit of EQ, and that's essentially it. And this is what it sounded like. And then for comparison, if we enable the impulse responses here with I'll just keep it whatever it's on here, and this is what you hear with the difference with the impulse response section on. Yeah, notice how it immediately just kind of kills some of that upper end clarity that was coming through, especially that pick attack. So that's where I decided to leave this off, just like Mike had recommended. All right, the last two presets I have here we're gonna take a listen to are both high gain. One is more of kind of like a genty style high gain, a little bit more mids, and then the last one is called Sludge, if that gives you a hint as to what it sounds like. It is ultra high gain, just disgustingness, which I think sounds so damn awesome. So here is Chunky. This is kind of like your more kind of genty style, a little bit more mids, so there's a little bit more pick attack in it, but it's still plenty high gain. So this is what it sounds like. I'll solo it and then let you hear it in context. There you go. So that's Chunky, and it is extra thick. And here is Sludge. This tone is so damn sick. All right, so what are we doing here? We are using a similar EQ, pulling out some of the lows, boosting up some of the upper mids. We're using the Lammert boost here again. Notice though, we've got the distortion absolutely maxed out. We've got the level maxed out, and we're boosting up some of the tone a little bit. We go into the Purple Nightmare. Again, the tone pulled back here, but we're also using the built-in boost, which is essentially like a built-in tube screamer in this amp. We're boosting that with about, I don't know, 75% level, boosting the tone up a little bit there. There's no gain being added here, but maybe just, okay, half a dB maybe. And then we go into the Cali Rect V30 top left and Cali Rect V30 bottom right with the Fredman technique there. And this is what it sounds like. I absolutely love that. Oh, it's so sludgy, so chunky. Oh, it's so good. I love it. All right, that is STLTones Tonality Lasse Lammert and the presets I put together and the incredible tones I was able to get with this tonality suite. I will go ahead and put a download link in the description below for you to download these presets from Preset Swap so you can install them and use them yourself. If you dig this video, if you like the tones I was putting together with this plugin, go ahead and hit that like button down below and consider subscribing to my channel. Of course, hit the comments and let me know any thoughts you have on this video and the tones I put together or the tonality suite itself. And as always, thank you for watching and thank you for your support.